everyone, and welcome to the Dr. Music Podcast once again, where I am joined by members of the Uncured. I have brothers Rex Cox, the vocalist for Uncured, and his brother Zak Cox, guitarist for the Uncured. Uncured is preparing to spend the entire month of May on tour, supporting acts like Adelitas Way, Filter, Anvil. They have performance scheduled for the Welcome to Rockville Festival in Florida, the huge Download Festival in the UK, and in mid-July, they will be playing the monumental Inkcarceration Festival in Mansfield, Ohio, where they'll share the stage with acts like Lamb of God, In This Moment, and the mighty, mighty, mighty Pantera. Uncured is due to release in the midst of all that chaos. They're due to release a new EP called My Design on June 2nd on the Pavement Entertainment label, which we love here at Dr. Music. So much good music coming from that label. Man, Rex, Zak, thanks so much for being here, man. I appreciate you.
Thank you for having us. We're stoked to be here. And just in case anybody's unclear, I'm Rex.
And I'm Zak.
Yeah, and we're with Uncured. Only thing to correct you on for any UK listeners out there, sorry to have to do this, is that we're not playing the Download Festival, but we are 100% playing Welcome to Rockville and Incarceration.
Okay. You were scheduled for
yeah, we were, okay. But we actually are planning on doing other dates US surrounding dates, the Incarceration Festival, so we're going to stay in the US.
Okay.
And hopefully next year we can go back to the UK.
Yeah.
And because awesome.
Yeah, I'm sure they're waiting for you there. You guys have played so many shows in so many different places. It's great in a very young career, which is extremely fortunate, and you guys are well deserved of that. It's a great thing you're doing with Uncured. For those, I'm sure there's a few listeners that are tuning in right now that aren't sure what Uncured is about, what they're expecting to hear. They might not have heard Uncured music yet. I could go and give my description, but let's hear it from the horse's mouth, if you will. What will somebody hear when they put on Uncured? What is the Uncured sound?
Uncured is first and foremost a metal band, but we take inspiration from a lot of different sources. So of the material on Spotify, it can range a little bit more from traditional rock to even slightly more of a pop rock kind of edge, but we want Uncured to kind of harken back to its roots a little bit and push a little bit heavier. So think more metalcore with singing, screaming, solos, breakdowns, and whenever we play live, a lot of energy and a lot of people going crazy.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well said.
I can imagine, listening to the catalog, it does vary. How do you guys write your music? Do you guys write the music, bring it to your rhythm section? Is it a group writing session that you do? How's the process for you guys?
So every song is approached differently, I would say. And the way that we wrote most of the songs that are released currently is different than the way that we're approaching writing music now. But I think, it's a process, and like you said, we are relatively early on in our career, so there's a lot of stages of learning involved in that. And since we do all of it ourselves, with every single release and every single song, every show, every tour, like you learn a lot of new things about music, writing music, music business, music industry, and ourselves as well. So the way that we're thinking about writing music now is we want to do something unique and creative and define a certain sound within the metal genre, right? So there's a lot of bands that are all fantastic, but tend to sound very similar to one another, and to the point where you could put on a record and I wouldn't be able to tell you if it was one of a number of different bands. All great, all good songs, but to me, I think there needs to be more individuality and a little bit more uniqueness. So that's kind of, I think, part of why it's taken us these last couple of years to really cultivate our sound and try different things and experiment so we can find what suits us best.
Yeah, excellent. I would agree. That's what I'm looking for when I listen to music, really. I want to hear something slightly different at least. Otherwise I would have put on the other thing. So yeah, I can appreciate that for sure. Now, I go look in the catalog in 2020's Uncovered Volume 1 EP. Uh you take on here in order America, Beastie Boys, and Sepultura. And you go on to Pantera and Slayer as well. America, Beastie Boys, and Sepultura. That's this end, that end, and in the middle. Uh, it's great. I love that. I love that wide array of styles, and you kind of make them your own. That's awesome. And Let's Break Out, the new single, is even somewhere in between there. It's got almost a pop feel to it, at least the vocal part of it, and it's very different from anything else. Is it ever a concern for you that you might get too diverse for your listeners, for your fans?
Yeah, so that is actually something that we talk about daily around here. And we want to focus in our musical direction and genre so people know a little bit more what to expect from us. We do think that variety is great and it's good to show off the heavy stuff to the clean stuff. But for our next group of songs, what we've had in mind is just focusing our direction, focusing our sound a little more. We're not going to have, still not going to have every song sound the same. We're going to be more consistent in the product and in like the messaging. It's not going to be like, here's an acoustic song, here's a death metal song. We're going to be more focused, and people are going to be like, Uncured, they make heavy rock metal music, you know?
And the term that we keep using for not even this EP, but the next album, which we're projecting for early next year, because that's what we're writing currently. We keep saying we want to put a stake in the ground, and that obviously has the the implication of like leaving something permanent as well as like marking your territory, right? So that's kind of our mentality for things going forward, and we're some of those people that are always looking to the next thing, right? So this EP, I can't wait to put it out. But like in my head, I'm already thinking next album and cover EP after that, maybe, that kind of thing. So like we're gonna celebrate each release, but we're not gonna like stand on ceremony because we're very driven to keep things moving.
That's excellent. That's excellent. I got people that I work with. They like heavy music. A lot of them, I'm going to tell them that I've talked to you today. A lot of them haven't heard Uncured music. We got a speaker there where I work. I'll put Uncured music on. I push play. What should come out? What's the first thing that should come out?
The first song, you mean?
Yeah. What's the first thing I should play for them?
You said they like heavy music?
Yeah.
Well, if we have a new single coming out in a few weeks, and if it was out, I would tell you to play that one. It's called "Fight This War." It's probably the best
song of ours.
The best song of ours. That's like shows our more trajectory. Unfortunately, it's not out yet, but it will be out in a few weeks, so you can crank it up at work in a few weeks.
Yeah, that's what I would say. I would say you wait and then hit him with the hard stuff.
Very cool, very cool. Because I mean, it is different. I could play a host of different things and give everybody each song would give them a different view of Uncured music. So I love that. I love the variety that you give and you put forward, and making things your own, like the America tune. I love that tune from America. I love how you guys do it. Beastie Boys tune is different. You make it your own. I like that. Tell me about growing up in the Cox household. Your dad, Mitch, is a sound engineer, lighting designer, owns Conclave Studios. So you guys had beginnings here. Is he a teacher as well? Is that how you learned to play? Do you have music in your schools? What was it like growing up for you guys?
Well, start.
You talk about guitar a little bit.
Yeah, so we started playing guitar together at like the ages of 10 and 12, and we like many people, we quit a bunch. We put down, stopped playing, because it's really hard to get into an instrument, especially guitar, when there's such a steep like barrier to entry, But We started, picking it up again here and there, and like by the time we were like 15 and 16, we were writing some songs together and starting to get we were getting better, obviously still a long ways to go on our journey, but I'd played some drums, so we'd all like play some songs together in the house, and that was like our first sense of what it's like to be as a band.
Cool. Cool.
Yeah. And as far as the other aspects of coming up and working on music, I've been working in Pro Tools, which is our primary DAW, for the past 7 or 8 years. So simultaneously, while developing like guitar skills and my voice, I've been becoming a competent engineer. And at this point, I would even say my engineering skills are equivalent to like my guitar and vocal skills.
Great.
So, and that being said, they're all going to, well, guitar and vocal, guitar is probably, I don't want to say capped, but I've just changed the focus more so to vocals.
Right.
And Zak is the primary force on guitar. So we're at this point learning to become a very efficient machine. So we divide and conquer a little bit, and I think that it's better for everybody that way, and it's also just more enjoyable for everybody.
What Rex is getting at is that we're like since we're still like a newer band, we try to do as many things as we can ourselves. Like, so Rex does a lot of audio work, like when we're making songs or covers for Instagram, things like that. And I do the camera work. I do all the videos, band photos. I edit all that sort of thing. Because nowadays you don't need to like outsource to so many different people, and it's best when you could do it all as yourself, because you have control of the product, and you need to make so many things these days to stay relevant. So we've tried to diversify our skills as much as we can, so we could really stay relevant online and just keep putting out content.
Yeah. Awesome. Now, learning to play, right? Self-taught. Is that all self-taught?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we had a variety of guitar teachers here and there, but it never really stuck. And then I think that once we just committed ourselves to it, we were self-taught. And as far as like music theory, I had a little Hal Leonard pocket music theory book. That's what it was called. And listen, that's a small book, but it has everything you need to know about music theory. And anything that's not in that book, you don't need to know.
Where is it? Where is it?
You don't need it. There's more in there. I did used to think music theory, I think is very helpful to know. More, I would say it's a little bit counterintuitive. It's more helpful to know early on when you aren't as experienced of a songwriter and you haven't written hundreds of songs. And then once you've written your 100 songs or put in your 10,000 hours, whatever they say, it does become a lot less relevant, because then from that point you know all that groundwork, and you should be trusting your ears and like yourself more so than
the rules,
than charts and things that other people have put together. So I would actually recommend to anybody that's interested in writing songs or learning guitar or coming up in music, learn your theory very early on, have a good grasp of it, and then as time goes by, you'll be using it and thinking about it less and less.
Well said.
Yeah. Because you've at this point, after writing those hundreds of songs, you've developed your own style, and it's you fall into that, and hopefully you're following some rules and making things right, and it's good composition, which it is. I love what you guys do.
And just one other fun thing on that point that I've thought about is like the single that Zak said that's coming out next, that we told you to wait before you play your buddies a song.
Right.
That chorus, just to quickly outline what it is as far as like theory wise. The first chord of the chorus is a G, and the first note on the vocals is an F sharp, 3 octaves up or 2 octaves up. So that's a major 7th, and you wouldn't think it would sound the way that it does, because the vocal goes F sharp B, right? It goes down a 5th, right. So it goes from a major 7th to a major 3rd, but it does not sound the way you think it would. So like as far as the theory dictates, that would be a pretty happy sounding thing, but within the context of the song and the synth pattern, that's kind of giving a counter melody in some instance. It has a totally unique sound. So if you were to just look at this on a chart and not consider the tones and the layout and the structure, all that kind of stuff, it would have a very different perception than what the song actually is. So I think that learning to manipulate the confines of those kind of basic components is really crucial to developing your sound a little bit.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, you don't have to be that rigid. You know, just because it doesn't work on paper doesn't mean it's not going to work
Sure.
in the room. So yeah, that's a great point. Um, Popular question floating around in forums, fan circles. Your debut album, Medusa, uh, very popular, garnered some great attention, even called the top 10 metal album for that year by Access.com. Not available on streaming platforms or download. It's a really tough record to find. Same with Epidemic. You got that available in vinyl on the website for people who want to run out and grab that one. That is available, but not on streaming platforms or download. Why is that? Why not have those two records available?
So I'm glad to hear that you definitely did some research.
Yeah.
I like that. So the thing is with Medusa, we probably wrote it when we were like 15 and 16 years old, and
Wow.
like the style, the songwriting, and our vocal abilities were just not at the level we wanted them to be, And now looking back at it, and this goes for Epidemic as well, it's like all the songs sound really different. The vocals are not what we do now. They're just because it was like our first time singing and things like that. And it's if we have someone new coming to check out the band for the first time, we want them to hear our newest things and not something we did as teenagers, because they're like the things we did as teenagers is still we still like, and there's a bunch of people that still like it too, but it's not indicative of what we're doing, and we don't want to potentially turn away new fans by something we did when we were much younger.
Okay.
And I do think that also the fact that we took them down has in turn gotten more people talking about those albums than if we left them up, right? So like the fact that you can't find Medusa as easily and you can't listen to Epidemic as easily has people constantly saying like, well, why'd you take this down? Which is fine with me, because it's engagement and it keeps people, like looking forward. So
like
I'm
people
good with
didn't
that.
appreciate Picasso till he was gone.
Yeah, right. That's exactly it. You know how many people are out there searching the world for that Medusa record? I mean, it's like gold.
Right.
You're panning for gold out there.
Well, I will give you guys the free gold in that case. If you go to uncuredband.com, you can hear them all.
No,
right
it's
there.
that the music tab isn't there anymore.
Oh, we took it down?
No, yeah, it's even harder.
Oh,
but
wow, okay.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
Actually, the I don't know if it's on SoundCloud or on the dark web. Maybe the dark
Well,
web.
somebody put
But,
Epidemic on YouTube. Like,
Yeah,
the
it's
whole-
on
it's the dark
It's
web.
on. Yeah, I heard.
Yeah,
Yeah, I heard
YouTube.
one on
But-
YouTube.
I don't know. I found a box of Medusa and Epidemic CDs in the basement.
Oh man.
So now, whenever you buy an online merch order, I include all of our old CDs.
Oh man, expect an order very shortly.
Yeah.
Uh,
Including Spontaneous Generation, our first EP. So there's like 3 or 4 CDs. I throw in all merch orders for free just because I found a bunch of them.
That's cool. That's cool. And
So you're giving away gold with every merch order.
just
Every merch order. So-
what was that?
Oh no, go ahead. What are you saying?
The Medusa album is astonishing to me. I mean, it's just a great piece of metal music. The cover art is extraordinary. Absolutely, the cover art. So yeah, I mean, it is well sought after, we might say. And
Good. Wait, could I ask? Did you hear that more recently when you got this interview, or have you heard it like previously?
No, I just listened to it actually. Found it on YouTube, and listened to it,
Okay.
and I thought, wow, this is much different than the other stuff that's
Hmm.
available. And so I can see where, you want your direction to be your rebranding kind of thing. But both things, you just do these things well. You just play music well. That's a great slab of really heavy progressive, very progressive metal. And the newer stuff has a little more melody. It's a little more structured. Uh, it's it's all good though. I appreciate it all.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
definitely.
It
Thank you.
definitely shows the evolution of our musical songwriting journey, and there are plans in the future because they're still like they're just hidden on those streaming services. We could make them visible again. We plan to sometime in the future. We just want to like establish ourselves and our sound, just so we're not like throwing out mixed messages to people.
Yeah,
More
yeah.
more so. Sorry. Yeah.
I mean, I totally get that. Totally. Um, what can we expect exactly from my design? The new EP coming out June. Um, we get the first single, Let's Break Out. Very, very different. Will the EP be more along those lines? Is there other songs that are similar to the Let's Break Out style?
Let's Break Out is actually a bit of an outlier on that EP. So Let's
Okay.
Break Out, and I've said this before, is the most positive, upbeat song that you will ever hear Uncured do, ever.
Yeah.
So the rest of them, I think, have more lyrical depth, more intricacies in the songwriting and the riffs and the guitar parts as well. So Let's Break Out was 100% the earworm of the EP, where everybody that hears it just gets stuck in their head. So the rest of the songs do have that to a large extent, but Let's Break Out starts on the hook, and then the hook is the chorus, and it comes back right. So the all the upcoming songs, between you and me, I like them all a lot more than Let's Break Out.
Okay.
Well, I would say we on my design there still is a fair amount of variety, but we still are trying to narrow our focus of what Uncured sounds like. There is also a ballad on there, but we have a bunch of every like pretty much all the songs I would say has a catchy chorus, and we also have a cover of Linkin Park's "One Step Closer" on there. So that's because that's sort of the direction we want. Also, heavy, it's got attitude and a catchy chorus.
True.
Yeah, and that would that sums it all up right there for sure.
And
Yeah, go ahead.
as I say, we will be playing One Step Closer live at all these upcoming shows. So I better hear every single person screaming, "Shut up! We're not talking to you." It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, yeah. That's that is the driving force behind live shows, man. That group interaction is it's going to be great. I look back at your shows, Lacuna Coil, Butcher Babies, Judas Priest, Sabaton, Cradle of Filth, Children of Bodom. You shared stages with all these people, and again, very, very young in your career. A lot of huge bands you shared stages with. Is there a dream gig for you coming up? Maybe.
Coming up, well, that's a different question. But a dream gig for us is the band we always say when this kind of question comes up is Motionless in White, because it's a modern band that I think is innovative and at the top of their game currently. So their last record, I think, was one of the best albums I've heard one of the best albums I've heard end to end ever. And we look up to that band a lot because I think that they're innovative, they're doing new things and pushing the envelope. But at the same time, they're charting and they're making like insanely catchy songs that are well crafted. So that's the first band that comes to mind always.
As well as just an obvious answer would be Metallica, because it's Metallica. Play some stadiums with them.
That will be cool.
That'd be pretty sweet. I love to tour with Motionless in White, as Rex said, and I'm also stoked that there's a ton of big bands like Pantera on some of the festivals we'll be at. So yeah, it'll just be sick to get to see a lot of those bands and hopefully land some big tours coming up.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah, I mean, when you're playing those sets, those fans of those bands are hearing you. That's, of course, that's a great thing. Tell me your live set. Do you play the first two albums, or is it primarily, or is it
We
all
have
your newer stuff?
we have one part of an album. Sorry, we play one part of the Medusa album. It's not even a full song, but from the song Opium Den, we take kind of the ending and we changed it a little bit and modified it.
Because it's based around like a minute and a half guitar solo into a breakdown. So it's like,
Yeah, and
we
I
still make this. This still works for with what we're doing.
and I do play that solo blindfolded as part of just like the stage show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I've been playing that solo for what, like 8 years at this point, so I can easily play it blindfolded, so it's just a nice little addition to have.
Yeah.
Do we play anything?
We used to play Myopic for a long time, but that is no longer in the set.
Right.
It's just that little bit from
Yeah, just a bit
to the outro.
So from the first two, that's all that left. Sorry.
Which makes sense for sure. Yeah. Now, I've interviewed younger guys like you that are starting out, haven't been at it very long. Relatives, you guys are brothers. I interviewed about a year ago a group of girls, three sisters, in a band. What was that?
Was it The Warning?
No, actually, GFM, Gold, Frankincense, and Myrrh.
GFM? I'm gonna look them up real quick. What was
Okay. GFM for short. Gold, frankincense, and myrrh. But there were three girls, heavier.
Okay, I see them here.
Yeah. They no longer exist. The other two sisters did not want to do it anymore. So the one sister has taken it, changed the name. They're young, very young. Things change. You figure out your life as you're going. I'm an old guy. I know where I'm going. You know what I mean? I figured it all out and I'm done. You know what I mean? You too are, you're young guys. Things change. You might find, you ever think about that? Relationships, children, families, things like that, or, just different directions of, growing up and finding your way through this crazy thing we call life. Is that something that's in the back of your mind? Do you ever think about, doing this until you're 40, 50, 60 years old?
This is all that I want to do. And I mean, of course, everybody has like thought what life would be alternatively, but no, any other potential course of my life is not one that I would want to pursue in any way whatsoever. So nothing will. I mean, I think I speak for both of us when I say nothing will shake us from this path. Nothing whatsoever.
We started this together without. We both obviously would have been able to finish school no problem, but we left early to start going on tour, and we started this together. We're in this together, and it's our favorite thing to do. Like we've been home for a couple months, working on new stuff, and we're just like, we can't wait to get out on the road. We're ready. It's our favorite thing to do. It always brings you like the best laughs, the best some of the best times, just being out on the road, going to gas stations at 2 a.m. and it's what we want to do, and it's we're going to be in it the whole way.
That's great to hear, man. It's great to hear. Anything?
I was going to say, Rex will be getting some hot dogs at Love's when we're like 80 and 82.
80, whoa. I've made it to 80. What are you talking about? Damn.
It's great. And it's cool that you guys, you're brothers, and it's great to have that relationship and spend, career together. I had two brothers myself. We didn't get to spend, the thing we love to do together. They have their thing, I have my thing. So it's really a unique thing that you're blessed to have, for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Tops on the bucket list for you guys. Personally, professionally, something you've always wanted to do that what's a top thing that you want to do in your life?
Well, we've definitely had a lot of good bucket list moments as a band so far, like touring in South America, Europe, We played at Summer Breeze, one of the largest festivals. All of those things are huge bucket list items. For me, I would say I'd love to get to the point where we could headline a sold out tour, play places like Red Rocks Amphitheater in Colorado. So just like,
Is that Colorado?
yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that one. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say
yeah, that one.
So like being able to do something like that is totally bucket list. That's like a long-term goal. But we're on the right track and we're going to keep making our way there slow and steady.
Yeah, definitely, man.
Yeah,
Not too
hopefully
slow,
not too slow and
but
steady.
steady.
It's very cool. Everybody can check out all the merch you got, all the dates, get tickets, uncuredband.com. That's the place to go. I will see you guys on May 4th in Hobart, Indiana.
Oh, yeah,
fantastic.
there we go.
Yeah, I'm a photographer as well, so I'll be shooting that show. Photos for you. I can't wait to see you guys, man.
I'll remember you as soon as I see you,
That's
Scott.
right. The art theater, correct?
What was that?
Art theater.
Yeah, Hobart Art Theater. Yeah.
I got you know what? I was actually packing up merch today. I could throw in some Medusa and Epidemic CDs to give to you if you like.
Oh man, that would be a blessing, man.
Remind me.
Okay.
I was packing up merch today. Let me throw in some of those. I'll bring a few for you so you can have some and some to give away.
Oh, that'd be great. Yeah. I'll have a giveaway for you guys. Yeah, that would be awesome, man. That would be awesome. I look forward to it, man. And I'm sure that I look at you guys, man. You're beautiful people too. You're gonna photograph well. It's cool. All the expression, man. I've seen some live clips too. It's man, it's exciting. It's an exciting show. People need to get out and see you guys. Yeah, very cool. I'm looking so forward to it, man. Thanks so much for your time. Uncuredband.com. Get out and see these guys. Zak, Rex, thank you.
Hey, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
All right, I'll see you soon.
All right, take
Bye-bye.
care.
All right, take care. Bye.